Yo, it's WPFW 89.3 FM. It's your girl Noodles, and it's definitely the Hollaback show. Yo, it's been marvelous today. I'm just saying, all the drama, all the politics, all the furloughs, all the stuff. Never a dull moment at Union Station. Folks want to light with trash cans on fire and climb up poles and hang up banners. It is what it is. Welcome to 2018. It's your girl Noodles with Paul Cruz, Miss Fancy, DJ Candy Crush. I got Miss Jada, and I got an incredible DJ, brother friend of mine, DJ Dramatic, out here of New Jersey. He's got a hot mix, but we're going to chat it up real quick and holler back, because I'm just saying it's like way too much going on. Too much stuff I can't even explain. Can you explain it? 202-588-0893. That's 202-588-0893. Looked at a video at a 7-Eleven out here in, what's that, Tacoma Park. They back up, bust through the middle of the 7-Eleven to take an ATM machine. Is it really that deep? So much stuff is going on. I'm saying at the end of the day, I was around these, what do you call them, pro-life kids. And I'm saying kids for a reason. People who have no idea of life and circumstances, and they're holding up these banners saying cancel and get rid of and defund Planned Parenthood. And I got in an argument with an adult yesterday about this. I'm telling you, it's cray-cray already in 2018, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I see it. I know it's going to happen. At the end of the day, something's going down. So pick up the phone, folks, if you want to holler back at 202-588-0893. I don't know how the Women's March was, but I think it was nice. Did y'all hear anything about the Women's March?
I wasn't there.
Well, no. I wonder if they had those pink hats on. Oh, I see some in the pictures there. They had the little... They said that the crowd... last year, I think it was almost 2 million women. This year, it wasn't even 10,000. But, it's cool. It is what it is. If you want to holler back and pick up the phone at 202-588-0893 and holler back, definitely. Well, we're going to have this show today about human trafficking, but I was advised to hold off for another time because that's a real deep discussion. But it's just amazing how many young ladies and young men are just missing. I've seen videos and films and pictures and footage of bad things happening. People absorb advertisements saying, well, you can make a lot of money as a child care nanny or what have you, and then they get there and something else is going on. It's just crazy. So we are going to tap into that this year as far as the human trafficking, but I just figured it's the beginning of the year, and we've been entertained now, and it ain't even been 30 days yet. What's up with your man Trump, Paul? I'm just saying, what's up with your man?
Why you gotta be mine?
I used to make this joke, and I used to say, Trump is the man. But that was just a joke when he was running for presidency, because I didn't think he was going to win. Man, the regrets on my face.
I don't think he wanted to win. I really don't.
You don't think so?
Oh, no way.
No?
I think it was a money scheme.
Money scheme?
Oh, yeah. You lose on purpose and you say the system's corrupt. So if you lose on purpose, you could just say the system's all bent out of shape and you're done.
What do you think about the whole aesthetics of DACA? D-A-C-A.
So I've heard a couple of people say that they feel like the government shut down because of the whole, that it's shutting down for a very select few people. Mm-hmm. But if you really think about that in the same way, aren't federal employees and people who work for the government also a small minority of the people as well? Mm-hmm. So yeah, they might affect the majority of the country, but so does immigration, so do building jobs for people who want to come to this country and have added value. So I mean, I really think that there's no excuse for a government shutdown. They should be able to come to terms, and the fact that they're not, you can't point any fingers, because that's exactly why we got in this problem in the first place. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the situation, is that we've already built this environment where everybody goes to their corners, and nobody comes together and compromises, and we end up in this situation where the people on the left are saying it's the right's fault, and the people on the right are saying it's the left's fault, when really it's all y'all's fault.
I think I don't like when you incorporate the federal workers and the employees and the folks that have to live normal lives, and you throw something like DACA in there and saying, until we get this done, we're going to have a furlough. Because now you're infecting and affecting innocent people who have nothing to do with that subject.
True.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that, because it's like, but they do that with all sorts of things. That they'll pick just a little buzzword or something that's hot. Yeah. It's almost like they Google it. They'll just be like, oh, what are people talking about right now? Oh, DACA's trending, and then boom, we're gonna shut the government down because DACA. It's like,
yeah.
I knew 4 days ago, I didn't even know what DACA was. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm be real. Right. I worked for the government, and I was like, what is that?
Right.
So I mean, for me, it's. I agree with you 100%. I think it's ridiculous.
Let me ask you something. How do you feel about the individuals that migrated here and never applied properly to become a citizen of the United States? And they've lived here for 30, 40 years and never made an effort. Even though their children are adults and are, U.S. citizens, but them as adults, they never applied.
I'll be honest with you.
Do you feel sorry for them? Do you think it's wrong?
I do. I do. And I'm 50-50 on it, because I think at the same time you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you knew, by all means. If you just didn't make the effort, if you could prove that person just straight up ignored, then by all means. But a lot of those folks had a different mentality, and they thought, I'm good, right? I'm here, not realizing that our system is so bureaucratic that there's paperwork for paperwork, and you have to file this just to talk to that dude. And so those folks probably just didn't know that. So I think it's one of those things that, does it have to be taken care of? Yeah. Is there, you just like kick somebody out who, who they've been here for 30, 40 years? Like, what do you do with that? Like, there's got to be a better way. I mean, they've already been paying taxes.
Right.
I hate when people say, oh, you're not paying taxes. Everybody's paying taxes. If we went to a flat tax, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
That's true. I always question how you can send somebody away, especially when you see that they pay their taxes and they're law-abiding citizens, but you choose to still deport them. This is a Trump thing of being very spiteful, because it's always been obvious that he didn't like certain people at the beginning, and he only used them just for the votes. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these people are now being deported. That's going to make things even messier.
Well, that's what I think I'm saying. A lot of people don't even realize you're going to end up spending so much more money on finding those people, processing those people, filing the paperwork, actually moving them, paying for the travel. That's actually going to cost a lot more than they're making it seem like that's going to clean up the problem.
It's scary. It's very scary.
I would say just tell them to join the military. Why not? We're low on people, right? I mean, yeah. I hate to do that because I'm in the military, so I'm not that person. But to me, that's always a viable option. And if immigration's an issue, file for the service.
You know what? I always had this saying that your day job doesn't validate you, and always look at a hobby as something to do on the side. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep you motivated, keep you driven, keep you excited about life when you get off work. And this is one of those times where that could have came into fruition and you could have profited, because now people, we don't know how long they'll be on furlough. And a lot of times those unemployment claims are denied sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So now you got people trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to maneuver, how they're going to figure out stuff. And then you got people that says, you know what, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But then, who knows? It may only last for 3 or 4 days. Last time it lasted almost 18 days. So it's like, what do? We pray.
I'm serious. I've seen so many businesses go under lately, like small businesses. Like these big businesses are doing great.
Yeah.
But these small businesses, they've just been disappearing.
Well, I've noticed that even in Union Station, my store had moved out, then we had 9 West, and then, anyway, long story short, a lot of businesses are moving out of Union Station, but I noticed that the Japanese are coming in and they're buying businesses and they're putting businesses in there. Now, I don't mean to be selfish when I say this, but I really wish that not just Union Station, but other big project developments would be more compassionate to U.S. business and entrepreneurs and give them the shot and opportunity instead of dealing with people who come from overseas. They measure and ready to knock stuff down and move stuff out the way, and you're not even a U.S. citizen. So it's so hypocritical that you can do it for business, but you can't do it for personal and family.
Well, think about it. Make America great again, but make somebody else pay for it.
Man, these women
climbed But they got it messed up.
They climbed up that flagpole to protest the president. They were hanging on. Look at that picture. Don't Trump on us. I'm just saying, that's hilarious, man. Very proud of them. Very proud of them. Took a lot of balls.
Just walk up and grab him by the wallet.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to understand this. Oh, there she is. She was up there on that. Look at that.
Is it wrong that I was checking out her boots?
And they arrested her real cute. Hey, I know some of the officers there. That's cool. Well, all I can do is congratulate them on having the balls of doing that. And what is this thing about Norway? It says, Norway, please help us.
That was because that's because the president came out and said there's certain countries that we were getting people from were, quote unquote, I won't say the word, but crap hole countries.
Yeah.
And so he was like, we need more people from Norway. Reality is, no one from Norway wants to immigrate here because they already have a good system. Mm-hmm. If we mimic the type of system that they had, which is difficult considering the size of our country and the population.
Right.
But if we even made steps towards that with climate change, with a lot of these issues, with a lot of other things, for example, healthcare.
Yeah.
We might have a different situation. Our biggest problem here is we're uneducated and we're almost promoting miseducation.
Yeah.
Alternative facts and all this other stuff. This, it's wild out here.
Yeah, it really is. It's really unfortunate. I'm trying to figure out what these senators and so forth are just thinking. What is their whole process?
They're not.
Approach? They're not thinking.
They're not thinking. They don't care. It ain't their problem.
Don't Trump over communities. That's funny. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, Black Lives do matter, but I hope that we can get to that point that we can figure out all the crime and the depression and what people are going through and suppress that. And, there's a lot that comes with that. So, we pray on that too. Pick up the phone, folks, at 202-588-0893. It's the Hollaback Show. Here with your girl Noodles and Paul Cruz and Miss Fancy, DJ Candy Crush, and Miss Jazz in the back. But, we were very entertained this year. And it was Trump was really sad because he couldn't go on his little vacation today.
Sad.
Yeah, he couldn't go on his little vacation because, he had to deal with this today.
Democrats shutting down the government.
I'd like to hear Miss Fancy's opinion on this because she's always thick about it. But she gets it in, And then, we had the disappointment as far as the disrespect on the Haitians and just a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of events going on in the next couple months. I was checking out that the Broccoli Festival is coming, and that's scheduled for April 28th. That's before me, but it's a crazy lineup of people that I'm not fond of, and people. I'm not a fan of trap music, and all this, and I'm sorry, me being in the industry for a long period of time, I'm not conservative at all. I'm a straight up B girl, but I've had even grown women and young ladies. Young ladies younger than Miss Fancy and Miss Crush here have a concern that Cardi B is definitely an embarrassment. Have you ever seen her regular YouTube videos when she has no makeup on and she's just running her mouth? She's totally trifling.com. But lyrically, nothing. I think sometimes sex sells. And we got a special guest hollering back. So we're about to patch in a few seconds. So hopefully we get to talk about that too. But you have Daniel Caesar, HER, Nipsey Hussle, Rich the Kid, Light Show, Grits and Biscuits, Hood Celebrities, and all these different people that just, don't sound interesting to me. But maybe interested to somebody else. And that's the Broccoli Festival.
I'll give my 2 cents on Cardi B in a minute.
Really?
I respect her hustle. I'll give you that.
Oh, we got our guest. Our guest is ready to holler back. So we're going to talk to our man, Ben. Yo, Ben.
What's up? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Man, I got to turn this volume knob down. Where the knob at? Well. We were just chatting it up about stuff, politics and all that good stuff, me and my man Paul. And it's becoming crazy. Did you hear what happened today at Union Station?
No, I didn't.
So these two women, one white, one black, sisterhood, okay, they climb up a pole with this big giant banner. about Trump, of course, and then they get arrested. Then somebody decides to light a trash can on fire inside a Union Station, and people are politicking and protesting. So it was a really messy, interesting 2 days. Pro-life yesterday and pro-choice today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they get busy. I'm telling you, when it gets warm, people get cray-cray. I'm just saying. So we hollering back with you today about AwesomeCon, because AwesomeCon is 68 days, 12 hours, 45 minutes, and 29 seconds away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm counting it as it goes. Yeah, so it's right around the corner. Tell everybody what's going on with AwesomeCon this year.
Yeah, so we're really in the thick of planning for AwesomeCon, so it's just my whole life at this point for the next, what did you say, 68 days?
That's right.
So, through the, it's coming, but, so it's everything's shaping up to be really good. We just announced a boatload of new celebrity guests over the past, 2 weeks, I think.
That's nice.
So we announced, for the first time ever, we got Ben Savage from Boy Meets World, along with Ryder Strong and Will Friedle, who are also his co-stars in Boy Meets World. Also, for the first time ever, we had Tom Welling, who was Clark Kent in Smallville.
Yes.
And we got Michael Rosenbaum along with him, who is, I think Michael Rosenbaum is probably my favorite celebrity I've ever had at a convention before. He's so good. So having both of those guys together is going to be amazing. We got Clark Kent and Lex Luthor together.
Yeah.
And then, on top of all that, we announced Stephen Amell from Arrow.
Man.
So that's he's like a huge star, and it's going to be, it's been, I've been working on those deals for a long time, so it was really good to finally be able to announce them.
This is incredible. It's going to be wonderful. Let me ask you something on the entrepreneur perspective, because we're always talking entrepreneurship here on the Hollaback Show. How do you keep centered? How do you keep motivated? How do you stay driven through all of this? Because I know this is a lot of work.
Yeah, so I don't know, I'm weird, but luckily I'm running events, so I have, it's like I'm on and then I'm off. So once the event's over, I go away, I go on a trip, or I, just don't do anything for a month or 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I come back from that and it's like, okay, I'm ready to get back to work. Mm-hmm. And I try to maintain that. So I've always got something in front of me to do, and I'm never just kind of dilly-dallying or trying to find work to do. I'm always busy. Mm-hmm. and that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of my motivation there, is just to have stuff in front of me to do.
Just keep it going. Just keep it going. How do you handle negativity? How do you handle negative people, negative vibes, when you're in this process of moving forward on a positive perspective?
I don't really do any, I know, there's a lot of motivational speakers and stuff that talk about positivity and stuff, and I'm not really into any of that kind of stuff, but I do definitely, I try to stay positive at all times, and I try to, if somebody's being really negative, I'll just cut them right out of my life. I don't deal with it, but
that's right.
I try to stay away from drama, and I try to stay positive, and I try to, the cool thing about my business is that it's just about having fun, and
yes.
there's no place for negativity. It's, it's called AwesomeCon. It's not, there's no place for negativity in the show at all. So we don't, we can take, we can by choice make sure that that there's no negativity there. It doesn't mean we can't talk about serious subjects. That's right. In our programming, but it does, it gives us the idea is just to come and have fun. So I get, at least the cool thing is I get to spend all day worrying about making people have fun.
Yeah.
So I suppose if I had a more, down to earth job, it might be harder, but for me, it's, it's always thinking okay, well, is somebody going to have fun? Is this going to make people have fun? Is this going to be boring? We don't want it to be boring. Is this going to, bring people down? Then let's not do it. Let's not, we try not to, I try to, personally and professionally, I try to, like, not be negative, and it's hard to do that, and then nobody's ever going to succeed 100% of the time at that, but, like, even if you're just on Twitter or something like that, and somebody says something, and you want to reply back, like, if it's going to be a negative reply, like, just stop for a second and think, like, I don't have to reply to this at all. Like,
that's right.
Like, you don't have to contribute to the negativity, and I don't know. It's hard, and it takes a lot of practice, but it's been, part of my, goals is just to stay as positive as possible, cut negativity out of my own life, and that, I don't know, that's part of, like what I said, keeping motivated and moving forward, because you can drown yourself in negativity, and some people do it, and, it's really hard to get out of it once you're in it.
That's right. It is. I just always say stay centered as much as possible. One thing that my late stepfather taught me, he said, you pay your cell phone bill so you don't have to answer the phone.
Yeah.
You pay your rent so you don't have to answer your door. Even like you said with the email. You see the email, but you don't have to respond. You know what I'm saying? Anything that will get you driven to stay centered is awesome. See, Ben is awesome. Awesome. Ben, awesome. That's how it is.
So he named the con after himself. Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Oh.
I just said the word so much that I'm like, this is the perfect thing. And then, it was the name was available, so that was another reason.
Oh, it was available. Do you have it tattooed on you yet?
No, I don't think I would do that.
Oh, come on.
Remember that song from the Lego movie? What was it? Everything is Awesome?
Everything is awesome.
You guys have to use that. That has to happen. There has to be some licensing deal, something.
All right, babe. So we're saying that in 68 days and 12 hours and 36 minutes, we have Awesome Con at the Washington Convention Center. This is going to be the dates again. Tell everybody, Ben.
March 30th, 31st, and April 1st.
All right. And it's 12 noon to 8 p.m. on Friday, and Saturday is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Sunday, as always, is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is the what year? The fifth year?
Sixth year.
Sixth year. That's a long time. Well, I want to be like you when I grow up.
See what I did there?
And it was a pleasure talking to you tonight. Kiss the family, and we'll holler back
Absolutely.
Next month, all right?
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right, babe. Holla.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, it's WPFW 89.3 FM. It's definitely the Hollaback Show with your folks here, the Hollaback crew. We just finished speaking to my man, Ben Penrod, the owner and founder of Awesome Con. Got incredible folks lining up, so you can go to awesome-con.com. And if you type in awesomecon.com, it's just going to populate awesome-con.com anyway, so that works too. Anybody out here with an entrepreneurial spirit and wants to get centered no matter what you get into, stay centered. Stay away from negative people. Stop looking for people to validate your happiness and the things that you want to do. Just do the damn thing and don't think too much and just smile through it all. You're going to have rocky roads. You're going to have bumps and bruises and the whole nine. You have good smelling food too, but you're going to have all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you just ride the wave. Now, what you about to say about Cardi B?
Oh, so you want me to go back to that? So, you know what? Talking about entrepreneurs, listen.
What?
Sex doesn't always sell, but she responded to a specific niche, man. She knew what she was doing. She planned it out. She said, I'm going to do this thing first, build my customer base. She already had it lined up. So then when she was a rapper, she already had that baseline. Not that I think that that's a, like a totally effective method or that's easy to replicate, because it could have just been, that's it, probably never happen again.
Right.
But I respect it because she said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Like, she didn't become a stripper and was like, okay, I'm going to do this and now I'm going to be a rapper. She said from the get, this is a stepping stone to this other thing.
I think she's sloppy.
I mean, she might be now, but I think she's pretty calculated though. She didn't get to where she is for nothing.
She's a poor representative for me. Who's that? We got a caller?
I respect it.
Yo, let's take this caller. Yo, who's this?
Yo, Yusuf.
Yo, who's this?
Hey, Yusuf.
How can I help you, Yusuf?
No, I'm just saying, you probably don't even remember me, but I be hitting you up every every once in a while, you know what I mean, checking in with you. You know what I mean? I'm in here right now just studying. I'm listening to you. And I'm saying, Shorty, you deep, Noodles.
How you doing?
I'm maintaining, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm maintaining, you know what I mean? Doing what I gotta do every day I wake up.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How's your holiday? Okay. Well, how things going?
Everything all right, man. I mean, you know, I'm just building, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm building and, you know what I mean, staying away from the Detroit power. You know what I mean? You know, passing from the hall on the plate.
Don't he sound like somebody from Wu-Tang? I love it. Well, it's good talking to you.
Yeah, it's nice talking to you, News. I miss you.
I miss you too. Take it easy, babe. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
And to the woo.
Yes. Wu-Tang. Well, WPFW listeners, we're going to take this break and get ready to listen to my man, DJ Dramatic. He is here coming from New Jersey. Crazy Beats, doing an old school 90s mix. We celebrate him right now. Wonderful brother. I've known him for like over 20 years. He also has a featured online show as well. But, I mean, when you're talking about old school, true school beats, love him to pieces. So we're going to celebrate him. Then we're going to get back into some conversation. But my girl DJ Candy Crush, she's going to flip some skills to you. Massage your eardrums. And if anybody wants to holler back, 202-588-0893. And we're not going to talk about Cardi B anymore because I'm just
Listen,
saying.
man, all I'm saying is Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to bump with.
Sorry. All right, folks, we'll be back. And when we come back, we're going to chat up with Miss Fancy because I want to get her opinion about her being a young woman dealing with this toxic energy and environment. She always has something to dab into and say, right, Miss Fancy? Right. All right, we'll be back. All right? Holla.
Holla, holla, Hollaback.
Yo, it's WPFW 89.3 FM. It's your girl Noodles. And yes, did you like my man DJ Dramatic Mills? He is thebomb.com. He just took all that love of 90s and compressed it in 30 minutes. And I'm very, very honored. And I said, you know, you're going to hear from him again. I'm just saying, you're going to hear from him again. Our man Ben Penrod, the owner and founder of AwesomeCon, hollered back earlier. Wonderful guy. So positive, so centered. Sending him some love. You got AwesomeCon coming up, and that's the end of March for 3 days, all right? Then we got another con coming, and I'm going to have my man Paul talk to you about that real quick. Go on, Paul. Do your magic, baby.
Yo, so normally I'm gonna just get on here and say my name is Paul, and it's gonna be like really out there. But you know what? I'm gonna create an alter ego right now.
Why you so PC?
No, I'm gonna get an alter ego right now because I don't know if you heard about Jersey Shore coming back. So
Yeah.
this your man Pauly C coming right now at you with the Hollaback show. Just throwing it out there, Pauly C. I had to do it. They're down in Miami right now. I don't know if you know about that. Apparently they're filming this whole thing. I think it's hilarious. I actually really want to see this because, you know, I used to watch Jersey Shore back in the day. Like, it's a guilty pleasure. I'm going to admit it. I don't like reality TV. I really don't. I'm going to come back to it. I really do not. But that was one thing I used to watch. I used to find it hilarious. And it's a nice segue because what was their quote? What used to say every day? The dude used to be like,
C works for you.
but for real, the dude used to say, what is it? It's t-shirt time. He used to say it's t-shirt time. So we're going to talk about TEECON.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? That was a nice, you see that segue? It was nice. It was smooth. But no, for real, so if anybody doesn't know about TEECON, you know, we're talking about the ultimate t-shirt convention. This is the third year they've been doing it. So, you know, I'm affectionately calling it Volume 3 because it's a Marvel theme going on. So I was like, yo, TEECON Volume 3. I think it's hot. So I'm sitting here saying I'm representing it because I did some of the art. But I mean, obviously I think it's cool. But like, I'm just a fan of the whole thing in general. So basically, everybody loves T-shirts. Who doesn't? I
Who doesn't love T-shirts, man?
T-shirt companies for
I'm a
everything.
T-shirt whore. Yeah. T-shirts are just like liquor stores and hospitals. You can't live without a T-shirt.
I'm rocking a T-shirt right now. What does my T-shirt say? I think it says cookie wear.
That's right.
I don't know. If y'all ain't heard about cookie wear.
What's up with
Hashtag.
TEECON?
No, for real. Those. See, look, man. Plug. No, but for real. So I mean, really on TEECON, like I'm excited. I'm supposed to be having a cosplay contest again. Lots of vendors. Like everybody's gonna be expecting this to like happen, but it's gonna happen like last minute because that's what happens. All the vendors come in last minute because everybody's schedule's tight. But I have a really good feeling about this one this year. Like just the time frame of it. Like everything just seems to be lining up really, really good. And I think it's just gonna be one of those things that when it catches, it's like fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels like that heat building. You know what I'm saying? Like this year, man, has just been. We need it. Last year was a little.
Already. Come on now.
I think it's hot. So basically, like you're talking about, you're bringing it right to the website. So priding themselves in cultivating urban, artistic atmosphere, comprised of an interactive marketplace that will feature dozens of T-shirt brands, exclusive sneakers, guest speakers, educational seminars, fashion shows, cosplay, and more. I mean, basically, if you are a budding entrepreneur, this is the place you want to come and just start. Even if you just don't know what you're going to get into, come and feel it out. Come and see what other people are doing. Talk to people who are doing business. Talk to serial entrepreneurs. Talk to people who are in their niche. And just find out what's going on. And be like, hey, how can I learn from these people? Like, find a mentor. Even if it's just for those 15 minutes, you might learn something and learn something from somebody else's mistakes. I've been doing businesses for a while, and I failed. I mean, that's reality. In business, you're going to fail. But you only truly fail. See, I use the word fail in a light sense because you only really fail when you stop. Really, every time you hit a speed bump, you learn something from it. Yeah. And as long as you don't make that same mistake, you're going to be good. Yeah. It's all just, bumps and bruises. That's all it is. That's how I look at it. And so I don't really believe in failure until you've quit. That's failure. So everybody just check out www.teeconconvention.com. Again, TEECON, T-E-E, con. So teeconconvention.com.
You rock, Paul.
Me? Nah. I don't know about all that.
We're going to ask Miss Fancy some questions real quick. Because we always got to get a heavy perspective after speaking to Pauly C. So, Miss Fancy, you know about all the politicking and stuff that's going on, and you even know what we were exposed to yesterday up at Union Station. What's your thoughts about pro-life folks?
What's my perspective? I mean, I understand pro-life's ideas, or whatever they want to call it. I am firmly a pro-choice advocate, and I really don't care about other people's opinions when it comes to pro-choice. I think that people that are pro-life are super close-minded. Like, you can't tell people this is what you need to do with your body, because what if somebody was telling you what you need to do with your body? What would you do if you were having a health crisis and somebody's telling you what you need to do with your body? Like, we as women need to be in charge of ourselves. We've been suppressed by a misogynistic government for how long? So when it comes to pro-life versus pro-choice, I think a lot of women that are pro-life need to realize that they're just feeding into the misogyny and the stupidity. Like, you can go ahead and like say, oh, Planned Parenthood, they're just terrible people, they do abortions, blah blah blah. There's more to Planned Parenthood than just abortions. They help people with all different kinds of health scares and risks as far as cancer, STDs, HIV. Like, what if your little Debbie was born with freaking cancer or HIV, but you're saying, oh, I'm pro-life, let me have this child, and then your child dies or you die in the process? Like, there's so much that goes into it. That's why having a choice is important, so that you can control the outcome. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say.
You're fabulous, Miss Fancy, as always. And you can check out her blog. What's that address again?
Fashionista.delight.blogspot.com.
So you can check out Miss Fancy, and she's always venting. Like yesterday, this woman decides to pull out a rubber baby fetus. It was a fetus, and then she stretched it like this, and she was like, she's like, do you want these people to rip it? And she did like this. She went rip. And I was like, that's not even what happened. And they yank it out of you like that, and it was like, what if they yanked it and she stretched it? And I was like, whoa.
My wife is 6 months pregnant, so I'm pretty sure she's feeling some kind of pain right now.
Oh my goodness. I was saying to myself, at the end of the day, everybody has to speak on their own behalf. And we're taxpayers, and we do good in our communities, and we deserve the right to have the choice. And this woman actually said to me that she feels that she has the right to dictate my body. Why does she say that? I lost it for a few seconds, and I had to bring it down. I had to bring it down. I had to bring it down. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, moving forward, we can't think like that. Keep that third eye open and keep smiling and love one another. But we about to go into this mix real quick with DJ Candy Crush. And the bottom line is, folks, another thing. Oprah Winfrey is not running for president. And just because she said a cool speech, don't get it twisted. Oprah is not interested in being a politician. You know what I'm saying? She already gets a lot of slack for 50 million other things, and pretty much her whole damn life in this industry. She's not running for president.
No,
I wouldn't even want her to be president. I wouldn't even want Oprah to be president. I don't think that's good for her. You know what I'm saying? Like Michelle Obama, it would be cool because I love to hear Michelle Obama articulate, but I wouldn't even want that for her. Yeah, I don't think the world would appreciate these women. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. But if you want to holler back, pick up the phone at 202-588-0893. It's the Hollaback Show here on WPFW 89.3 FM. We're about to listen to my girl DJ Candy Crush, and we'll be back with Pauly C and DJ Candy Crush and Miss Fancy and your girl Noodles and Miss Jazz. Yes, holla. We'll be back. WPFW 89.3 FM. It's your girl Noodles, and we got the Hollaback crew. Officially Pauly C. Pauly C, okay. We got the original Miss Fancy, DJ Candy Crush, and Miss Jazz, and your girl Noodles. We were just talking about the Black Panther movie. You were just talking about that. We'll say Black Panther, because you can't say the Black Panther, because that's a different thing. You might put an S on it, it'd be totally different. But I'm looking forward to seeing Chadwick and Angela and Forrest and all these incredible actors and actresses come together for this movie that will be featured starting February 15th, but the big launch is February 16th. Historically, this is going to be awesome, right?
I've been waiting for this for a long time. Like, I mean, as far as Marvel movies go, this is going to be huge. I was reading somewhere about, like, ticket sales are expected. Everything's been selling out like crazy. Mm-hmm. The cast looks amazing. I'm calling it right now. Captain America's making an appearance. They're not going to put him in any of the promotional material, but I'm guaranteed he's going to show up. Like, Chadwick Boseman's just doing it.
He is. He is. When you look at him and the whole fact that he played Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, James Brown, now Black Panther, I mean, he is just getting it in, and I'm very, 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 very proud of him. You know, people judged him as he was acting as James Brown, but the more that I look at the movie, I see him as an actor that definitely appreciated the role and took it in full swing. And if you see this lineup of actors and actresses, it's really cool. Some of them I've never heard of before. Some of them you can tell them they come from Africa somewhere, and it's cool. I had Samuel L. Jackson. I heard him complain at the fact that American actors were not asked to be in the movie or cast in the movie or audition or whatever. They didn't get the offers. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to celebrate that we all have gotten that opportunity some way, shape, or form. And don't hate. You know what I mean?
No,
we all gonna eat. Everybody gonna get an opportunity. It's not that deep.
But you know, I think it's kind of interesting because a lot of people think about it and they said, I had heard somebody say, I don't remember if it was on another radio program or somebody had said that, you know, like the Black Panther was the first African American like hero, and then I was like, whoa, and then they had to pump the brakes on it because he's not African American. He's just African. So like the fact that they were just using people who are, you know, not what you would typically see in a normal, like, you know, stereotypical. Let's be real. Stereotypical African American film. Like they went for people who were like, I mean, who give that look, who give that vibe, and that's what they're going for. They wanted to have more of that feel of the continent itself, and not the Americanized version of what. Because like when you see Africa in movies, that's not an accurate portrayal. They spin it in a way that makes it like everything is the jungle. It's not real. I mean, anybody who's ever been to Cape Town can tell you it's not like that. And then you go to Alexandria in Egypt, it's different places. And so I don't know. I really think it's an accurate reflection. But again, that's my opinion. I'm only speaking about it because I'm a fan of the comic book.
Right.
So from that perspective, I think that they got a great cast. Anything with Angela Bassett in it, I'm gonna watch it. Just for her to try to flex them arms. Because she's strong, man. She's strong.
So the cool thing that I want to share about the Chadwick, and I hope I'm saying his last name right, Boseman.
I think so.
He is a graduate of Howard University. And he's been acting now since 2003 to the present. Of course, he's 40 years old. And he's November 29th. So what does that make him? What's the sign? Is he Sagittarius or something?
I think that's a Scorpio.
He's a Scorpio, something like that. But yes, African American. He played Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Black Panther, Thurgood Marshall, and he was featured in Lincoln Heights and Persons Unknown and Express and Draft Day. So he's doing really well. He was born in South Carolina and raised in the city of Anderson. Son of Carolyn, who's a nurse, and Leroy, who owns an upholstery business. And he graduated from a high school there and then moved here to Howard University, where he got his bachelor's in fine arts. And I'm looking forward to actually seeing him in this role. I kept looking at the movie James Brown. I'm still stuck on this James Brown, probably because I looked at the Temptations movie. You know, I'm a realist. I couldn't stand the 5 Heartbeats because Robert Townsend took the actual story of the Temptation and twisted around, and you heard the same song for the whole 2 hours. It was totally awful to me. But Mr. Boseman Chadwick here, he went to graduate from the Digital Film Academy, and then he became a drama instructor for the Schomburg Junior Scholars Program, housed in Schomburg Center City in the Black Cultural Hall of New York. So support. They always say make sure you get your tickets. And when you get your tickets, you make sure you read the ticket and make sure that that's the actual movie that you're putting your money into. The first week of any of these films that these actors are in, these African-American actors and African actors are in, the first week is really crucial. So make sure you can go out and support and bring some family and friends, no matter what color, race, creed they are, and have some fun. Yo, Pauly. Let's say Pauly, right, Miss Fancy? That's his name, Pauly C. Any love you want to give out there? Shout out to my dad, Ed. It's his birthday. Turned 67 today. Happy birthday to you. I don't do the stepfather thing. I just say my dad, So happy birthday. May God bless you. And may you have many more. And we dedicate this show to you tonight. So hopefully you get to listen out or holler back next time. And giving love to my daughters here. And WPFW, we're about to have a pledge drive come up the first week of February all the way to the 24th. So we encourage you guys to holler back and support all shows, all stations. What's up, Paul?
So I guess I'll just give a quick shout out because, you just pointed out the whole stepfather thing. So I'll just shout out to everybody out there who's doing their thing and, stepping up to the plate for kids who need a positive role model like that, because it's not an easy thing,
No, it's not.
So I just want to say that. I want to give a quick shout out to my own father. My father was in the hospital recently with everybody's getting sick. It's like The Walking Dead out there, man.
I know.
Like flu and pneumonia. Like I'm hearing all this crazy stuff. People I'm walking around. I'm waiting for people to start coming out with the little SAR masks from back in the
right?
Like it's getting pretty wild. So my dad was in the hospital. He was in there for like 7 or 8 days, and it wasn't looking too good for him. But he recovered. So thankfully, he's in the process of recovering from pneumonia. So I just want to say, big ups to that. And to my wifey, who's 6 months, what is she, like 23 weeks? I mean, she's like counting down. So
that's right.
We got a baby coming right around time at AwesomeCon, so hopefully it doesn't conflict. I got a schedule, you know what I'm saying? We got to move that baby a little back or a little forward. Like, we got to figure it out.
Well, WPFW Washington listeners, we're about to approach that midnight hour, celebrating you and all you do, celebrating the eardrums of the 60s to the 90s and hip-hop, house, and R&B, giving love to my girl DJ Candy Crush, Miss Fancy, Miss Jazz, Pauly C, and your girl Noodles. At the end of the day, we'll celebrate you next time here on WPFW 89.3 FM. Sending some love to my man Ben Penrod from AwesomeCon. Check him out. And the folks at TEECON, check them out. And check out everybody. And just celebrate life and enjoy your new year. And don't let nothing sweat you and stress you out. Don't even worry about it. It is what it is. Through it all, we love and appreciate you all. All right? Holla.
Holla!
Holla.